This is DD India and you're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. In a historic moment, Axiom 4 mission carrying Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla and 3 other astronauts from the United States, Poland and Hungary splashed down on Earth around 3:01 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Tuesday. The 4-membered crew returned home after spending 18 days at the International Space Station. Family and friends of Shubhanshu Shukla celebrated his safe return to Earth. Shukla's family expressed happiness on the success of Axiom 4 mission and said that the whole nation is proud of their son, Shubhanshu Shukla. Congratulating everyone involved in the mission, President Draupadi Murmu posted on X saying that Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla's role in piloting Axiom Mission 4 to the International Space Station has created a new milestone for India's space exploration. Congratulating Shukla, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said Bharat's space prowess continues to soar to new heights and this mission will inspire generations of aspiring astronauts and scientists to reach out for the stars. Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla on his return to Earth from his landmark mission aboard the ISS. In a post on X, the Prime Minister said that as India's first astronaut to have visited ISS, Shubhanshu Shukla has inspired a billion dreams. Shukla is an Indian Air Force pilot. Taking to social media site X, the Indian Air Force too extended heartfelt congratulations on the successful completion of the Axiom 4 mission. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on Chinese President Xi Jinping this morning in Beijing, along with his fellow SCO foreign ministers. Jaishankar conveyed the greetings of President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the Chinese President. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov of Russia in Tianjin. The leaders reviewed bilateral cooperation and global developments. Dr. Jaishankar also met Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi on the sidelines of the SCO Foreign Ministers meet in Tianjin. India achieved a new landmark in its energy transition journey, reaching 50% of its installed electricity capacity from non-fossil fuel sources. Notably, this achievement comes 5 years ahead of the 2030 target set under the Paris Agreement. India's bullet train project achieved a major milestone on Monday when the first section of the 21-kilometer undersea tunnel between Bandra Kurla complex and Thane made a breakthrough. The 2.7-kilometer tunnel section, part of the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project, has been constructed between Ghansoli and Shilpata in Maharashtra. A landmark demonstration titled Prachanda Shakti was conducted at the Kharga Corps Field Training Area in Meerut. Employment of disruptive technology by infantry in strike corps operations were displayed at the demonstration. World Youth Skills Day was observed annually on July 15th. It celebrates the strategic importance of equipping young people with skills for employment and entrepreneurship. The theme for 2025, Youth Empowerment through AI and Digital Skills, highlights how artificial intelligence is transforming the way we learn, work and grow. At least 3 pilgrims were injured after a bus accident was reported near Seri area of Ramban in the northern Indian UT of Jammu and Kashmir. British-Australian mining giant Rio Tinto has named Simon Trott, who heads the company's most profitable iron ore unit, as its new chief executive. JP Morgan Chase raised its net interest income forecast for 2025 after its strong performance in the investment banking and trading divisions helped it surpass profit expectations for the second quarter. Apple said that it would invest $500 million into rare earths mine operator MP Materials as the iPhone maker seeks to localize its mineral supply chain. US consumer prices picked up in June, likely marking the start of a long-anticipated tariff-induced increase in inflation that has kept the Federal Reserve cautious about resuming its interest rate cuts. China's economy slowed less than expected in the second quarter in a show of resilience against US tariffs, though analysts warn that weak demand at home and rising global trade risks will ramp up pressure on Beijing to roll out more stimulus. Investors in Japanese government bonds are bracing for a potential power shift in upper house elections this weekend that could strain the country's already frail finances. Indian equity indices ended on a strong note with Nifty near 25,200 on Tuesday. At close, the Sensex at the BSE added 317 points to close at 82,571. The Nifty was up 114 points to close at 25,196. At the Forex market, Indian rupee ended 18 paise higher at 85 rupees 81 paise against the US dollar on Tuesday. Gold futures maturing on August 5th were priced at 97,909 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for September 5th maturity stood at 112,735 rupees per kilo on the MCX. Tesla officially entered the Indian market today with the launch of its first showroom at Maker Maxcity Mall in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex. European shares nudged higher on Tuesday as investor sentiment improved after US President Donald Trump signaled a readiness to negotiate tariffs with the European Union. So the Pan-European Stock 600 index added 0.3%. Among other regional indices, Germany's DAX gained 0.4%, France's CAC 40 rose 0.3%. UK's FTSE 100 index surpassed the 9,000 point mark for the first time on Tuesday as investors took comfort in a relatively tariff-shielded market and rising bets of Bank of England interest rate cut. Danish pharmaceutical companies, including industry giant Novo Nordisk, may encounter added costs and uncertainties stemming from potential US tariffs on EU exports, a trade policy expert warned. Global crude oil prices fell on Tuesday following US President Donald Trump's comments about giving Russia a 50-day deadline to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict, easing immediate supply concerns and impacting market sentiment. Syria's defense minister declared a ceasefire in Druze majority city of Sweda following clashes with Druze fighters. Fighting erupted as troops advanced into the city, which had been under the control of various Druze factions. Israel launched strikes against Syrian government forces in Sweda, saying it was acting to protect the religious minority. Israel's military said it was striking targets belonging to Hezbollah's elite Radwan force in eastern Lebanon, the latest attack despite a ceasefire between the two. Gaza ceasefire talks remain in their first phase, even as mediators step up efforts to broker a truce between Israel and Hamas. Qatar said that it added mediators are intensifying efforts to reach a deal. Russia has warned that US President Donald Trump's pledge of more weapons for Kiev and the threat of sanctions targeting Russian trading partners could embolden Ukraine and further delay already stalled peace efforts. US President Donald Trump toughened his stance against Russia over the Ukraine conflict. He promised a fresh waves of missiles and other weapons for Ukraine while giving Moscow 50 days to reach a ceasefire or face sanctions. Donald Trump coupled his arms announcement with a vow to impose tariffs and sanctions on Russia if Moscow will not make a ceasefire agreement within 50 days. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with Trump and thanked him for his support. He said that Trump and he had agreed to speak more frequently and continue coordinating their steps. U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine Keith Kellogg, who is in Kiev, met with President Volodymyr Zelensky. The duo discussed boosting Ukraine's air defenses. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has announced a political reshuffle as conflict with Russia raged on. He asked First Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Sredenko to lead a new government. She played a key role in recent negotiations for a minerals deal with the United States. At least 18 people were wounded, houses and other buildings damaged in overnight Ukrainian drone attacks on the neighboring Russian regions of Lipetsk and Voronezh. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. Lavrov is visiting China for a meeting of foreign ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. Iran has said that there would be no new nuclear talks with the United States if they were conditioned on Tehran abandoning its uranium enrichment activities. The remarks came after Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqai said that Iran had not set a date for any meeting with the US. 7 people were injured as an explosion rocked a residential building in Qom. The fire department said that the blast was caused by a gas leak, ruling out any terrorist nature to the incident. Multiple people died and many more were injured after a fire broke out at an assisted living center in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts. The facility is designed for older people to live independently with staff assistance. The United States and Panama conducted joint military exercises aimed at protecting the Panama Canal amid tensions over alleged Chinese influence along the prized trade route. U.S. presence in Panama remains a sensitive issue as it evokes a time when Washington had an enclave of military bases in the country before the canal was handed over to the Panamanians on the last day of 1999. The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday cleared the way for President Trump's administration to resume dismantling the Department of Education. In the latest High Court win for Trump, the justices lifted a federal judge's order that had reinstated nearly 1,400 workers affected by the mass layoffs at the department. Donald Trump thanked the Supreme Court for allowing the administration to implement the widespread education department layoffs. He called it a major victory for parents and students across the country. Clashes between riot police and protesters continued on Monday amid anti-migrant unrest in Spain's southeastern region. Masked demonstrators identifying as residents filled the streets as armed police officers fired rubber bullets to quell the unrest. Indonesian rescuers found alive all 11 people missing at sea who had survived a boat capsize despite bad weather by swimming for at least 6 hours to the nearest island. We are heading for a short break. We'll be back with Express News in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what save your country.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's resume. Death toll from devastating floods across Texas has climbed to 131. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch through Tuesday morning for a large area of central Texas, warning of potential heavy rainfall of up to 6 inches. While in Arizona, a growing wildfire at the Grand Canyon's North Rim has now charred at least 50 structures, including a historic lodge inside the popular U.S. tourist site and natural wonder. Toronto and the surrounding Greater Toronto area have been placed under both a heat wave and a poor air quality warning due to wildfire smoke. Drone video captured wildfire smoke blanketing the skyline Canadian city on Monday. Torrential downpours pummeled the city of Fuji, Shizuoka Prefecture in Japan on Tuesday as Typhoon Nari made landfall in Hokkaido and became a low-pressure system. India Meteorological Department has predicted generally cloudy skies and light to moderate rain, accompanied by thunderstorms and lightning over the next 4 days in Delhi NCR. Weather Department issued orange warning for 3 districts of northern state of Himachal Pradesh and warned of heavy to very heavy rains in Shimla, Solan and Sirmaur for Tuesday. In northwest India, heavy rainfall in Punjab has caused widespread waterlogging, impacting normal life and leading to traffic disruptions in major cities like Chandigarh, Mohali, Ludhiana, Patiala, Amritsar, Hoshiarpur and Roopnagar. The India Meteorological Department IMD issued an orange alert for heavy rainfall in the northern state of Uttarakhand. Further, the IMD issued red alert for the states of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh today. Entire Rajasthan is under alert for extremely heavy rain. Central state of Chhattisgarh has also been seeing places under red alert for extremely heavy rainfall. The centuries-old tradition of swan upping, the census of the royal swan population on stretches of the river Thames got underway on Monday. The swans owned by King Charles are tallied by the sovereign swan marker David Barber and accompanying swan uppers who take to the waters in traditional Thames rowing skiffs. Queen Camilla visited Battersea Dogs and Cats Home on Monday to unveil a new dog-friendly sensory garden. The garden, designed by Monty Dawn, was originally showcased at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show and was gifted to the charity after the event. A samba-flavoured drone and firework display lit up the Paris sky around the Eiffel Tower as France celebrated Bastille Day with a nod to Brazil during the country's Brazil-France 2025 cultural season. The display featured drones drawing images in the sky inspired by Brazil, Belém and the Amazon. Hundreds of rowdy spectators roared at a Tokyo arena as dozens of Japanese and foreign contestants took part in the World Barber Classic, showing off their hairdressing skills. Polish tennis star Iga Swiatek's Wimbledon win sparked celebrations in her home country, with many enjoying a traditional Polish dish, pasta with strawberries. The sweet and savory combination may seem unusual, but it's a beloved comfort food in Poland. Located near Chicago, Mason Creek is a remarkable fossil site that offers a prehistoric window into life that has existed long before the age of dinosaurs. Several locations are open to public for fossil hunting during designated times. Spanning 100 square miles, the site features exceptionally preserved fossils of creatures and plants from 309 million years ago, when Illinois was a tropical coastal swamp. The 3,800-year-old citadel of Penico, Peru has been opened to the public after 8 years of research and restoration. According to researchers, the archaeological site is linked to the Carol civilization and was a meeting point for trade between the first human communities on the Pacific coast and those from the Andes and Amazon regions. Around 350 loggerhead turtle hatchlings have made their way to the sea from Isuzu Beach in Mugla, Otaka district. This marks a significant event in the conservation of these marine animals, as the beach is crucial nesting site for loggerhead turtles. Rare tiger quadruplets made their public debut at the Magdeburg Zoo in eastern Germany, receiving their first vaccinations on Monday. Britain's Oleg Politzev and American Becca Pizzi secured victories in the summer edition of the North Pole Marathon, held under sub-zero conditions at 90 degrees north. South African singer Tyla has released her new party track, Is It?, and accompanying music video. US actor Vanessa Hudgens revealed on Saturday that she's expecting her second child with her husband Cole Tucker. Rihanna attended the launch of the new animated film Smurfs at Paramount Pictures in Hollywood. In the movie, Rihanna has voiced Smurf Fred, the lead character. Actress M. McGraw is all set to join the cast of a coming-of-age thriller Super Unknown, written by Chris and Charlie Frazier and directed by the brothers Riedel. Alec Baldwin is all set to host a historical audio drama titled The Ideas of April. The 8-episode series will explore a major moment in American history, the 17 days in April 1865 that began with the surrender at Appomattox and ended with the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. The much-awaited Harry Potter TV series has officially started production at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden in the UK. The makers revealed that the first look at Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter. Actor Andrew Garfield has officially signed on for Luca Guadagnino's upcoming feature Artificial at Amazon MGM. The feature is described as a comedic drama set in the world of artificial intelligence. Eva Longoria has come on board to direct the film adaptation of Anita de Montelau's Last. Longoria will also produce the project under her Hyphenate Media Group banner, alongside CEO Chris Abrego and Jada Miranda. Ransom Canyon fame Lizzie Green and House of the Dragon Harry Collette will be seen as the leads in the coming-of-age love story Easy, an adaptation of the best-selling novel by Tamara Weber. Actor Shweta Tripathi is all set to produce her first feature film titled Mujhe Jaan Na Kaho Meri Jaan. It has now joined hands with Patal Log actress Tilotaba Shom. Shom will play a crucial role in the film, which is said to be directed by Sanjay Nag. On to sports news now. In a nail-biting finish, England beat India by 22 runs on the 5th day of the 3rd Test match at Lord's. With this win, the hosts have now taken a lead of 2-1 in the series. Both the teams will now meet at Old Trafford for the 4th Test on 23rd of July. England's captain Ben Stokes was adjudged the player of the match for his brilliant all-round performance. South Africa beat Zimbabwe in the opener of the Tri-Nation featuring New Zealand at Harare. Ngiddi's tally for the Proteas in T20I soared to 64 scalps. He became the joint 3rd highest wicket taker alongside Sten. Zimbabwe seamer Richard Ngarava became the top wicket taker for his national team in the T20 internationals during the first match of the Tri-Series. Mitchell Starc delivered the fastest 5-wicket haul in Test history as Australia crushed the West Indies by 176 runs in the 3rd Test in Jamaica. With this win, Australia completed a 3-0 series sweep against the West Indies. West Indies were bowled out for 27, the second lowest total in Test history after New Zealand's 26 against England in 1955. R. Vaishali and Harika Dronavalli joined compatriots Kineru Hampi and Divya Deshmukh in the pre-quarterfinals of the FIDE Women's Chess World Cup in Georgia. The India Under-20 women's national team drew 1-1 against Uzbekistan in the first of the 2 friendly matches in Tashkent. Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen will be in action in the Japan Open 2025 badminton tournament. In women's doubles category, Rutaparna Panda and Swetaparna Panda will represent India. The first version of Los Angeles Summer Olympics 2028 schedule has been revealed by the organizers of the competition. Croatia's captain Luka Modric has completed his move to AC Milan on a one-year deal with an option to extend until June 2027. And that's it in this edition of Express News. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.